Hey, how y'all doing today? This is
What up? What
Nate
up?
and
What up?
Chris,
What up? What up?
and we're back. Day two. This today, we were talking about Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Kind of getting into that film and kind of breaking it down. We both went and saw it. I really enjoyed it. I don't know what Chris thought about it yet. I know he hasn't got a time to really, really sit down and really think and ponder the film as deeply as he would have just yet. But yeah,
You, man, I mean, go ahead, Nate, because you're probably going to trigger some things that you know uh hit home with me, and go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
like
What were you? Oh, hold on. Let me back up. Let me back up. You know, here's a question I want to ask, and here's maybe the thing I was lacking, missed, maybe whatever. But like, what was like? How did you feel coming out of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? Do you feel like you saw like just something groundbreaking, some sort of pinnacle, some sort of pillar of the or the MCU? Do you feel like hey man, this is going to change everything? Did you feel like, man, what's coming after this is going to be crazy, or do you feel like, yeah, that was a dope ass movie? You know what I mean? Like, did you get some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say life altering, but I'm taking it too far. But what were your like when you left the theater? Talk to me about that moment. When you left the theater, talk to me about that moment, and then we'll work backwards.
all right.
We'll work
So
backwards.
in terms of when I left the theater, I mean, I went with a group of friends. In terms of if I thought
Okay.
Doctor Strange was a groundbreaking movie, I mean, no, I didn't think it was groundbreaking. I really, really, really,
Hmm.
really enjoyed the movie. I didn't think it was. I thought it was the transitioning point in terms of Phase Four and the leading to other things. But in terms of the movie, all and like in terms of spectacle and stuff like that, no, I didn't think it was anything groundbreaking or anything like that. Like I thought it was.
Okay. Because see, for me, and I mean to cut you off. I'm gonna give it back to you in a second. But I agree with you. I was thinking the combination of Spider-Man: No Way Home and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was literally going to turn everything on its ear. I was literally thinking that. And to your point, I also left the theater thinking, man, that was a cool movie. That was dope. But I didn't feel like I didn't I didn't feel like there was a huge man. And I hate to do it. I hate to do it. I hate to do it. But remember that feeling we had at the end of Loki?
I mean, yeah,
I
like
didn't
when you
have
seen.
yeah, I didn't have that feeling at the end of Doctor Strange. And I thought that's what I thought that's what we were really going to get. I really did. I really did. Go ahead. I'll get back to you. Go ahead.
No, I'll say, like I said, I I did think it was the transition to the next, like the whole ending of it with the chick popping out and saying, "Hey, the incursions are happening" and stuff like that. That's definitely a venture into more characters from multiverses kind of popping in and stuff like that, and that's super dope. Like I actually really like that. But in terms of like the spectacle, in terms of like showing what Scarlet Witch can do and stuff like that, like in terms of and other people actually spoke upon this when she was fighting people, like other than when she fought the Illuminati, for the most part, her fighting really consisted of her just shooting fireballs at people for the most part, which just wasn't super exciting for someone who's supposed to be the nexus of magic. Kind of Thanos did cooler shit when he had the Infinity Gauntlet, and she was at that point in time, supposed to be on this level. She's a multiversal threat, like which is actually beyond what Thanos was. She's a multiversal threat,
Right.
yeah. So like,
I'm going to put that one on ice because you bring up an interesting point. I'll put that one on ice, but go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
it
Go
just
ahead. Go
seemed
ahead.
like for the threat that she was presented to be. And I know at one point in time in the film she said she's been like holding back and stuff like that because she was trying to be like nice and so on and so forth. But
Right.
like I felt like if she wanted what she wanted done with the level of power that she really had, it probably should have just been done. And I don't feel like anybody really should have been on there really kind of a stopper from doing it. And
So
when,
let's go ahead. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
yeah, so like, and then when she fought people and killed, like, she killed a ton of people and stuff like that. Like, there are times where it clearly shows that, like, she's just way overpowered. Like, and then she'll get into a certain fight, and then it's like, well, they're kind of sticking with her, and they really shouldn't be. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I just,
So let's go back to let's go back to the beginning of this movie. You know, how do you feel about, essentially the place where Doctor Strange is at? He's not even the Sorcerer Supreme. We learned that in Spider-Man:
yeah,
No Way Home. Him being snapped. Um, Him having to deal with his dreams. He doesn't know what it is. You have Christine, his love interest, who's marrying someone else, and you really have him. You find him at a point where it's just like, I can't be this other guy, because when things pop off at any minute's notice, I gotta go. And we've seen that. That's kind of been the hero code, right? The
yeah.
hero never gets to grow. We learned that in a lot of different aspects of comic book movies. But you know, um, looking at essentially, the dreams and the concept of the multiverse, him not really fully understanding it, even in Spider-Man: Far From Home. Take me through, I guess, where the character of Doctor Strange, how did you feel? 'Cause this is kind of one of the things I was kind of like, I'm not going to use the word disappointed, but I thought there should have been more. Where, like, this dude is like one of the most powerful people in the MCU. Earth 616, whatever you want to call it, and I never really got that feeling like, yo, like, he's that dude. Tell me about your thoughts of where we meet Stephen Strange, some of the things he's experiencing, and his kind of progression from, like, Endgame to where we're at now.
So I think in terms of Endgame, I think he was definitely stronger in Endgame, but at that time he also had the time stone.
Okay, man. Okay, great point. Great point.
So,
Great point.
like, doesn't have the time stone anymore, and also came back from being blanked away for 5 years and stuff like that. Just getting back into the swing of thing. I think in terms of the straight magic part, I think he's still the strongest sorcerer outside of the Scarlet Witch currently. I think he's definitely stronger than Wong. Like, Wong seems basic, yo. Like, I love Wong as a character, but Wong seems super basic in terms of his skill set. Like,
I'm a fan of Wong, man. I really
yeah, I
am.
do.
Really
I love his character, dude. I really,
He's
really
one of those
do.
people, man. I hope they don't ever get rid of. Right? I really
Yeah.
do. I think Wong is cool.
And
Wong
I
is
think,
cool.
and here's the thing, I think he's probably a better Sorcerer Supreme, at least in the MC universe, than current Stephen Strange is.
Okay.
Because Wong is willing to, like, while Stephen Strange is also willing to do what it takes, to protect everything, so on and so forth. Wong will do it and then not think back about it and not
Right.
feel bad about it. Like, he'll, like, what's done is done. I did it for this reason. It is what it is. Stephen
Mm-hmm.
Strange is at a point, at least at the beginning of this film when it started, he's at a point in time where he still regrets, and he still, you later on find out in the film that he kind of wonders if there still was another way, like, that he could have stopped Thanos other than given the time. And then one universe he finds out there was a different way. It involved him dying, but,
Mm-hmm.
like, there were other ways, and, like, he still did think about it. Like, that he still thinks about the fact that essentially he kind of broke a rule and he got to be a hero over it, and then Wanda literally broke kind of like the same thing, kind of did the same thing, and she's she's kind of crucified. I mean, what she's doing essentially for it is kind of different reasons, but she did the same thing, and he's here to stop her from doing the same thing that he did. Like
So when we see Wanda, right, and that opening scene was, well, not opening scene, the scene with her and Steven was kind of cool because it literally, the trailers really kind of set you up for it was something that you didn't think it was, but and I think a lot of things, that you were talking about earlier, as far as like her, kind of shooting red balls at people and all this kind of stuff, and really not using the full might of her power.
except for when she fought the Illuminati, she did them. She went all wild on them, used all types of abilities.
Right,
But
right,
not.
and I just, I mean, will we get a whole House of M scene? I'm just kind of, and allow me to fast forward for a second. With Wanda Maximoff, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get that sort of, you know, just OP, ridiculous kind of power. Which also leads me to another question I'll try and bring up later. But were you happy with? I mean, because to me, this felt like, okay, I'm gonna say it, and here's where I might get in trouble. To me, this felt like a sequel to WandaVision rather than a sequel to Doctor Strange.
A lot of it, yeah. I don't
It
think that's.
felt like
I don't
a.
think
It
that's.
felt
I don't
like
think that's out of the. I don't think that's out of the ordinary to say that. No.
it felt like a way to cap off WandaVision and that whole kind of everything she was going through, Billy and Tommy,
That's
you
why.
know, her essentially her breaking point, and we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming in WandaVision. You know what I mean? We saw, in a lot of ways, we had already kind of foreseen this. Now to go to those depths of, as far as killing people and the whole dream walking and stuff like that. No, but I think we just saw it coming. I really did. I wasn't. There was nothing in this movie that like shocked or surprised or like or gave me like goosebumps. You know what I mean? To where I was just like, yo, you know what I mean? There was none of that, and I think maybe that was that combined with like, and again, I'm going back to my kind of initial primal feelings like at the end of the movie. It's like, okay, like this wasn't as groundbreaking or as pinnacle to the MCU as I thought it would be. Here's the cliffhanger. I think they opened up a lot of possibilities with this one. Will we get it? I don't know. I'm sure we'll talk about that in a second. Um, but it did. To me, it felt like a sequel to WandaVision
That's
rather than a sequel to Doctor Strange.
so. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that the movie didn't really have anything to do with Doctor Strange, the first one, like at all, really. It
Okay.
had more to do with WandaVision, like,
Okay.
and like the aftermath of WandaVision than anything else, and that's probably why that felt like that. Like his villain, because I mean, I hate to say it, but Doctor Strange, the first one, kind of concluded, and then the Infinity War happened, and he was blinked out of existence,
True.
and then he wasn't the Sorcerer Supreme anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
that story was like over, and now they had to do something. So there's not really like, I hate to say it, there wasn't really like much they could do with a Doctor Strange 2 and his, like, unless they just created like a whole new villain. So, but this let them both conclude literally WandaVision season 2. So we're not gonna get that. That's why I said that yesterday. I said, yeah, WandaVision season 2 is probably not gonna happen. We may see the characters again, but I don't think they're gonna do like another whole season of the Wanda and Vision. Like I think that's over.
I would agree. I would agree.
But yeah, and it was another way to introduce Doctor Strange. And one thing that you have to take into account is he has that third eye now as well. That's the thing
Okay.
from using
Okay.
the dark
Okay.
hole, even though the dark
Okay.
holes are gone.
Before before we even get into that, here's a question I want to ask you. there's another character in the story that is pretty pinnacle, and I don't feel like this character was given their sort of due justice, due diligence, or really enough. I mean, they were super important to the story, but it was just like it didn't make you feel that way. They were literally just a key to a door. America Chavez. What
Yeah,
were your thoughts?
I
What were your
felt
thoughts
I
on
definitely
America
felt
Chavez?
like she needed more. She's someone who needed more of a like a character. She needed something by herself, like a short series, something by her. Like they kind of explain her situation a little bit better before she's just ram hopping.
So
So
so why is it? And again, forgive me for jumping back and forth here. Why is it we can have characters like Kane, the Scarlet Witch, who are these Nexus level characters who can exist in every universe, and then we have like one America Chavez, but like we don't really get any. You know what I mean? To me, America Chavez was like, okay, if you don't know who she is, you're shit out of luck. Yeah, I hope. And like for me, the whole source material, like I get it. If you'd have read it, you probably would have understood it. You probably would have get it. But it's just like no one's doing that anymore. So to throw this character in there, who's that important and that pinnacle, and not really have any sort of clues or context to who the hell she is, it was kind of like, to me, it felt like a miss. To me, it
I,
really felt like a miss.
I would also
It
say
really did.
that I also say don't do that. Like to say that she's the only person who can travel through the multiverse is wrong because Ant-Man literally travels through the multiverse.
Well, no. I guess what I'm saying is like there's only one America
Yeah, I
Chavez.
know that. But I was talking about when they were talking about her power. She's like, I'm the only one who can traverse through the multiverse.
Oh,
Like
okay, okay,
I'm like,
okay.
there's
I
like,
got you. I got you.
like Secret
I got
Wars,
you.
Ant Man, seeing the
I got
seeing
you.
the things
I got
happening
you.
in multiple. I'm like, he didn't do
Well,
that.
again,
Like
but
he
that,
didn't he
but
didn't do.
again, again, now there's that. See, this is one of those things that I kind of maybe had a premonition for. Was like with them changing the source material and them kind of separating things from the MCU and the comic books. What are we going to get next? And I think when you throw this character in there,
I think
it,
Secret
with
Wars.
little to no like who the hell are you? Where did you come from? And you see her, just fighting this being, or you see her in Stephen Strange dream, cool, whatever. But it's just like she's. I think she's just so much more important to what happened and what went down in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. But she didn't feel that way. She didn't feel that way. You know what I mean? She really just felt like
Some
at the
character.
end she just felt like somebody that Doctor Strange had to save. And literally the whole story was kind of building up to that. Scarlet Witch wanted her. Um, the pseudo, um,
He was.
the pseudo Shumagorath puppet wanted her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we didn't get it.
Um,
I thought we were going
you
to get real
know,
Schumacher. They got me with that one.
yeah. Well, yeah. I'm pretty sure that they got everybody with that one. You know.
You gonna show that and be like, oh no, that's a fake.
Um, but you didn't really get the. I guess I wanted more scale with her. Like I wanted more sort of like, like this chick is important. This chick is super important. She might not have all the type of superpowers and blah 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 blah, but like she's necessary. She's super necessary. Here's why. There's only one of them. If you like, you know what I mean. That to me would have maybe kind of solidified. Not that's too strong of a word, but maybe gave a little more significance to the concept of the multiverse to know that there's just one of her. There's multiple Stephen Strange. There's multiple Wandas. There's multiple Illuminatis. There's one America Chavez, and like to me, I'm just like, yo, that's something they could have really touched upon, you know. So,
Here's something I wondered watching that film as well. When Scarlet Witch invaded her own house, like, and actually was fighting other Wanda Maximoff,
mm-hmm.
did other Wanda Maximoff not have powers? she showed powers at some scenes, and
So
then but when she's
so
getting fought, you literally just nothing.
so so remember now, the 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 Wanda Maximoff who we know had access to the Darkhold, so she had a whole catalog of other stuff. The other mom, Wanda, was just a mom. I mean, she knew she had a little. She was probably the same chick just from the end of Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
She had a little bit. She had a little bit of get up, a little bit of fight, but she didn't have what the other, you know, Darkhold, Scarlet Witch had. She didn't. She was not the woman at the end of um, WandaVision that realized she was the Scarlet. She wasn't. You know what I mean? So here's something I want to ask you. Speaking of the Darkhold, and I know you really like to kind of dive into this. We talked about Shuma-Gorath. They mentioned
they brought.
Cthulhu.
Yes, they did.
They talk about the Darkhold. What were your thoughts? And I know that's Cthulhu's kind of been your guy for a while. You've mentioned him in a lot of earlier videos we've done. But what were your thoughts how they kind of handled the other realm of these beings and individuals who really can't enter the human realm, but they're just super powerful. We talked kind of about it yesterday with regards to the demigords, Attune. But what were your thoughts about how did you feel when you first heard the word Cthulhu?
So when I originally heard Cthulhu, I thought we were going to get a situation where we were going to get a situation where they were like, "Oh, this is Cthulhu's, tomb, so on and so forth." I thought we were going to get a situation where he was going to take her over, and I was like, "Oh, this is how she's going to flip. Like this is how it's going to happen, and this is why they're going to need Professor X." Like I thought we were going to have that moment. Like sadly, that was not the moment. Uh, and we never got Cthulhu, though. I'm actually more hopeful now than I was before that we will actually get a Cthulhu now from the ending of that.
Here's a question well, not off topic, but we've already Kevin Feige and other directors have said that Kang the Conqueror is supposed to be the big bad in Marvel Phase 4. Do you think we'll get the Shuma-Gorath, Cthulhu, maybe talking about the Demiurge, maybe talking about Gaia and things like that? I mean,
I
we
want
talked
to.
briefly. We talked briefly yesterday about gods and essentially how maybe they're kind of viewed in the MCU and their role. I do believe we're going to get more of that, and obviously, Thor: Love and Thunder with Gore the God Butcher. That's going to be interesting.
So
Um, but I mean, like, you know,
I don't think we'll ever get a. I think we might see a Cthulhu, like I said, but I don't think we will ever get a full embodied, like he can't completely take over like Scarlet Witch or anything like that version of it ever. No, I think we'll get like a slightly possessed. He got a little control, but we'll never. I don't think we'll ever get to see any of those god level beings get to manifest
okay,
themselves physically ever. Maybe I think the closest thing we might get definitely with them showing Professor X and stuff like that is the potential of mutants because there's multiverse. If he exists in that multiverse, he exists in this multiverse. That's just how that works.
man, that's a hold on to that thought real quick. What was I going to say? This is what I want to say. We thought we was going to get it in WandaVision. Thought we might get it in Loki. I was if I was a Betty man, I was certain we was going to get it in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And I really think now it's kind of, I don't want to say a foregone conclusion, but I just think like it's going to happen in a way where it's just not going to be as cool as it could have been. But like, where the hell is Nightmare? Like, how do you fit him in now? You've had like three ample chances to like fit this dude in, and you don't. You know what I mean? Like, I was really hoping, really, man, I was really hoping that like the Dark Hole, the Book of the Vishanti, the multiverse of madness, just that concept was literally going to just bring in or mention or talk about just ridiculously like OP characters like, yo, we screwed up. I was literally hoping that, and I guess the end credit scenes, and I guess, you know, the whole idea of the convergence, right, which we haven't really talked about, is essentially now the lifting off point to everything going wrong. I think that's what they confirmed in the story. It wasn't about necessarily the multiverse collapsing or anything like that, or other beings being able to jump from universe to universe. It's now about universes essentially collapsing on top of one another. The whole Jonathan Hickman's New Avengers run that I'm looking forward to reading. They're taking a big chunk out of that with the whole convergence thing. And now, to me, it's like, to your point about Professor X, it's almost like they're rebooting the MCU. It's almost like they're taking the convergence. They're going to take that Secret Wars. You know, we're going to get what's the show we're going to get with Nick Fury on Disney Plus?
I forget the name.
Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to get
so
that. So it's almost like
that's a way for them to literally sneak characters from multiverses into the MCU.
Yeah.
And then sneak them into the main continuity. Like, here you go. Yup, they got into that. Remember that? Secret Wars. They snuck in there. Now we got mutants. Remember?
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna be that at all. And I don't want to kind of go off on a tangent. But like, they've had so many opportunities to bring in and mention mutants, and I know there was some you know rights and things like that, and Fox, and I get all that, you know, I do. Again, I believe they missed a huge opportunity, and I really think it would have given the movie a lot more weight and significance. They could have talked about mutants in the Eternals movie. They could have talked about the deviant gene. They could have talked about that. They could have talked about all that. That's how you get mutants. Bang. You know what I mean? Like, you're literally looking at, you know, these powers that the deviants are running around with, and these powers that these Eternals have. Bang. That's your answer right there. And they didn't. So now it's like, okay, well, we're running into, you know, New Avengers, the new Secret Wars with the whole convergence thing, and now we're just going to combine universes, which leads me to, what were your thoughts being introduced to the Illuminati?
So, I was hyped, but for different reasons. I was hyped because I got to see.
Tell me why.
So one, I actually didn't expect Fantastic Four, actually at all. So seeing that, it was just like, yeah, I didn't. I was so focused. I was so focused on X-Men that I didn't even think about Fantastic Four.
I'll be honest with you, the only person who I was like surprised with was just like
Black Bolt.
Right. I was just like, what is
R.I.P.
this?
Like, and it was the same one. And it was the same one from the show.
It was.
Yeah, I know.
So, hey man, come on, man. A lot about this is getting a check. So kudos to that dude for getting the check. They called him back.
Good
night.
Man,
you want to reprise
good
your
night,
Black
baby.
Bolt?
Good night.
You know.
Good night,
Hey
Batgirl.
man, you want to go ahead
Good
and
night.
reprise your
Catch your
role?
eye.
Good night, babies. Yeah, bedtime. You at school in the morning. Yeah,
That
he.
was the only surprise to me was Black Bolt. I was just like, oh man, like nothing against any of the characters, nothing against
Woo.
Reed Richards, nothing against but it's just I'm going to sum it up like this. To me, to me, we've been talking about Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Sam Raimi doing it. Dare I say, and maybe this is just what to expect going forward. The hype of movies creates these expectations, and your expectations are up here. The movie falls about right here. Anyway, that's kind of how I haven't. Man, they're you know, that's
See,
kind of how I felt. That's kind of how I felt.
see,
With
I'm in a
nothing of
different.
that, with
I'm in a
nothing of that
slightly different
movie.
boat. Well, I was very happy to see all those characters in the movie, and I never felt overly hyped about the character being because I always thought that them being in Multiverse of Madness, being the Multiverse of Madness, would be a cameo appearance. Period.
Oh,
Like,
sure,
so
sure.
like, so them getting in there and being multiverse versions of that, and then confirming that the main MCU is Earth 616
Yeah. I
was
had a
a
problem with that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
was a big thing for me because essentially for me that confirms like even if these people get killed here in this multiverse, I don't care. The main ones exist in the Earth 616 universe.
I got you.
So
I got you.
that gives us potential for Professor Xavier to not pop up in the MCU. That
Well,
also gives, and that gives potential for Fantastic Four stuff, the more
sure.
pop up in the MCU. But that gives them more stuff to explore on the cosmic side of things and so on and so forth. So like it just opened up some more things in the MCU. So like seeing
But go ahead.
only person who I was disappointed that I didn't get to see a multiverse version of any sort doing this type of thing was Doom.
Oh, wow. Uh, mm. So
'Cause I just feel
I
like
mean,
this
so for me, I'll take it even one step further. And Doctor Doom, oof. This is the movie. Here's what I'll here. Mm. Let me find the words because I have a couple of things to say here. To me, the introduction of Now Mutants, the introduction to the Fantastic Four, the introduction or the merging of the What If universe with Marvel 616, if you want to call that. It's now just the concept of the convergence, universes bumping into each other, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm certain in whatever phase five is going to be completely off the rails because it's like this. Hey, there's mutants are in this universe. Now they're here. It's going. They're literally doing secret wars. They're doing
that's
secret
it.
wars.
So
You
how
know what
about
I mean?
this? I
And
just
it's
had
like,
Dylan read all the Secret Wars. I was like, bro, this is what they're leading up to. That's why I was like, I'm disappointed they didn't have some type of Doom cameo appearance, something somewhere. Cause like,
I got one for you. But go ahead. Go ahead. I got one for you.
yeah, I was like,
I
dang,
got one for
they
you.
didn't get it, they didn't get it as it was like, but I'm like, but they ended up the Fantastic Four. So like, where there's a Reed Richards, there literally has to be a Doctor Doom. They can't exist. They can't not exist in the same universe.
True, true, true. Um, and this was something I'm not about to take credit for, but when I saw it, I was just like, oh, you're right. You know, and again, it's those little nuggets. Will we see it? How will we see it? we don't really know. And this is something we kind of talked about the other day, yesterday, about like the character Moon Knight. Like I don't see Moon Knight fighting in these sort of multiversal worlds. I
No.
think we're going to kind of get back to those ground level, street level characters, Midnight Suns, maybe. Your Daredevils, Spider Man, Moon Knight, Blade, Morbius. We're gonna get that. Then there's gonna be those like multiversal wars. I think Ant Man will have a part in that. I mean, now it's crazy. Now I'm like looking forward to Ant Man as like the movie that really turns, excuse my language, that really turns shit on its ear. Because I know Kang, or I can't think of the actor's name, he's cast in that movie. So like that will be the movie that literally
The introduction the big
bring
bad to the movie universe essentially that gets him really.
right, that really like brings him back. It's just like, yeah, I'm that guy. And it's just like, okay, well, how do how do we? I mean, because this guy exists in every moment in time in every universe. So it's like, it's almost even hard to fathom that. But going back to what you said, no, we now know that in the MCU, not the 616 universe, we now know in the MCU, yes, Professor Xavier, Captain Carter, Black Bolt, the Inhumans, um, and the Fantastic Four exist, right? We now know that. But we also now know for us to see them again, it's going to take the convergence. It's going to take this character reaching out. During what event? You know what I mean? Like, during what event is Reed Richards going to reach out to? Fuck, I don't know. I mean, somebody on Earth 616 and say, hey, wait, hey, this is about to go down. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that's going to be a little choppy. Maybe we'll get some of that during Secret Invasions, like you said earlier. Um, yes, that could be the arrival of the mutants when everything does converge into one universe. I just don't think we've seen enough of different universes unless we're going to see that in Ant-Man, to where we can really appreciate what's going on outside of the MCU or Earth 616. To your point, no, we don't see Doctor Strange, but Reed Richards says something to Wanda Maximoff that a lot of people missed. She says something along the lines, well, I'm here to get my children back. He says, yeah, I have two children.
Mm-hmm.
One of those children is who? Franklin?
Franklin Richard. You
Yeah,
got Franklin and Valeria.
Franklin Richards.
No,
You know what I mean?
you got
So,
Mr. Multiverse him. You got Mr. Multiverse manipulator himself.
hmm so I thought that was a real like pivotal point. And I'm not I'm not 100%, but I'm sure we're going to see, you know, these characters again. I kind of felt like the importance of them was a little bit, mm, when you start throwing around the Illuminati, it wasn't necessarily the Illuminati. It was just the Illuminati of their
Yeah.
specific universe.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Illuminati. You know what I mean? And again, I just felt like that was something that, like, I think maybe could have been better explained. And maybe they did, because they talked about how they defeated Thanos and all this kind of stuff. Cool. Which takes me back to this point. Okay. What's your thoughts on Stephen Strange being the biggest threat to the multiverse? What were your thoughts on that?
Um, I feel like their thoughts about him being the biggest threat. I mean, they were wrong about the Scarlet Witch. So like, and we're gonna vote to be like, oh, we'll just ignore and send their people to their death, literally. So like, I feel like they can be wrong. I feel like a lot of them had distrust towards Stephen Strange in that universe for having the Darkhold. So I feel like a lot of that shit stemmed from the fact that they didn't trust him. I did not think Stephen like or 616 Stephen also counted on the nose that what's it called the one dude his boy really still didn't like him even in that universe, and he kind of called it true. He was like you really you Loki wanted me to you were all for
Morta.
Yeah, he like you were literally
Yeah.
all for them like labeling me as the most dangerous thing in the universe to get me out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And he was kind of like, "Yup, you right. Mm-hmm. Yes, I did. I was right to vote for it. Yes, I feel like part of that was for the fact that can Stephen Strange be a threat to the universe, multiverse? Oh, 100%. I think he's the biggest threat. Now, I think part of that was hyped up because, you know, certain people had agendas to really get him out of there in that universe.
Got you. I don't know where we're on time, but I want to ask you this question.
We're about 41 minutes in.
We two questions I want to ask you. Two questions. Well, three. Do you think I already know the answer to this question? Do you think we've seen the most powerful version of Doctor Strange? No,
nope.
I get that. When do you think we'll see that? One. How will that happen? Two. And three, will we see Wanda Maximoff again?
Yes, I think we'll see Wanda Maximoff again. It's the same reason why I told you I think we'll see Cthulhu for at least a little bit partial. And I think that's part of her trying to sacrifice. I feel like her trying to kill herself in his tomb is just like the worst way of going about trying to, you know, off yourself in his tomb.
Okay.
You know, just she's like, oh, okay, just free real estate. Like, so that's what I think at least in some, so because of that, I think we'll both see her again. And I think it's a situation where, you know, she tries to kill herself. Cthulhu, you know, in his tomb, you know, stops her, takes over for a bit. She eventually gets freed up.
Now remember, she destroyed all the Darkholds. So how does Cthulhu get out?
Cthulhu's not really locked to the Darkhold though, and she still has knowledge of the Dark. Like she's not. The Darkholds were just a copy.
True.
Of the tomb.
True.
And so like, and she's still in the tomb. Like she kind of brought it down on itself, but like, I feel like that's probably not enough to destroy like that tomb in that situation. Like, but the Darkholds, wings here, yeah, these are all just copies of the original thing. Just carved into a mountain.
Okay.
So like,
I got you.
So yeah, I definitely think we'll see her again. I don't think we've seen the most powerful version of Doctor Strange. I don't think we'll see the most powerful version of Doctor Strange until there's another crossover type event movie, like an Infinity War situation. I think that is when we will see. Because I hate to say it, but looking at all these heroes and stuff like that and the importance of them, I don't think Captain Marvel is going to be like super important. America Chavez is going to be important, but I don't think for combat reasonings and stuff like that. I think their heavy hitter right now in the MCU is Doctor Strange, actually. At least for right now. Like there are probably some Eternals and stuff like that who are up there as well, but they typically are pretty hands off for stuff like that. And I know in the Marvel, I have to wait till they do the Marvels whatever movie to see how that's hitting. But right now, it's looking like definitely with, you know, Doctor Strange at the end of the movie, you know, leaping head first into, you know, stopping incursions and stuff like that. I feel like he's going to be, like, kind of the lead guy, at least in the crossover movie. Like, Because I feel like the crossover event is probably gonna. I'm hoping is I think it's either gonna be something with Kang, or the next big crossover event is gonna end up in like Phase 5, and I hope for God it's Secret Wars.
Okay.
And you bring Doom, just bring him on out.
Mm.
They have all the characters lined up for it now. Like,
Okay.
yeah, like they have the Fantastic Four. You have the kids. You have Doctor Strange. You have the the Ebony Maw. You've had Thanos. You had the Thor. You now have Thor: Love and Thunder, where they're going to explore the concept of having not just Thor hanging out, but the multiple Thors.
Mm-hmm.
Like so like everything you've had Age of Ultron. Like
Yeah.
for like only thing we haven't had is the Marvel Zombies, but you kind of had that in what's it called? In What If.
Right.
So like all the necessary components for them to somehow combine that world and everything like that are there, except for a couple things. Owen Reese, we need the molecule. You need that's a big one.
Mm.
You need an Owen Reese.
I mean, you can't just slide that dude in.
Yeah, I
You know what I
know.
mean?
This is what I said. Some things
can't.
might. That's it. Some things might be leading into. Like I'm hoping.
You can't American Chavez Owen Reese. You can't American Chavez Galactus. You can't American Chavez Franklin Richards. You can't American Chavez Like you can't.
I know.
I mean, we spent so much time learning about characters, Captain America, the Hulk, Iron Man. Like we spent so much we spent so much time. You can't just American Chavez these cats. You can't. I'm going to feel a certain way if they do. If they just start dropping, I'm gonna be hot. I'm gonna be hot. Like no.
And here comes Doom with
like no. Like no.
Is that Galactus over there? Like
right. I'm gonna be hot. Like you can't do it. Because then that means like I can't think of his name right now.
You're not ready for them to hit well, this is Doctor Doom, and then Doctor Doom be like, yeah, and this is my friend Owen Reese. Like,
but why didn't they mention I can't think of his name Adam Brashear in like WandaVision? Like I mean, he was perfect. Like you just mentioned the name. You know what I mean? Like they need to get back to that kind of stuff. Just mention the name. Okay, yeah, you mentioned Cthulhu. Cool. Like okay, so I know something's coming. You know what I mean? You got old girl at the end. Okay, what are they going to explore? But I just, man, I really hope. I mean, look, I know we talk a lot about Marvel versus DC and all this kind of stuff, but I'm gonna be hot if Marvel just starts just dropping characters in. Like, hold on, time out. No. And that's why I feel like the convergence theory concept is a cop out. Because you're not telling me, you know what I mean? Oh, well, the mutants are on Earth 612, and they're bumping into Earth. Like, come the fuck on. Like, no, hell no, I'm not buying. And now all of a sudden they just show up after Secret Wars. No, I'm not with it. Not at all. I need backstory.
He just pop up. Hey man, I'm Nightmare.
Right.
Hey man, I'm Nightcrawler. How you doing, bro?
Right.
Is it?
No.
I'm not with that. What up, Scott?
And honestly, that's where I feel like when they said the convergence, I was like, wait a minute. So this is the play, huh? This is how you get everybody. No, I'm not with that at all. Nope. I need backstory. You didn't drag me along for 10, 12 fucking years with everybody's backstory and all his origin stories. Give me some more, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Excuse my language. But hell, no. I'm not with that at all. Nope.
Like this right here. This is Scott Summers.
Right. I'm not with that at all. You know what I mean? I'd have been happy if they'd have just like did some little bullshit of just like Okay, well the Fox universe is this, and Paramount's universe is this. Like, I'd have been cool with that. Okay, at least I have the backstory. But you're about to bring in a whole other X-Men. You're about to bring in a whole other Fantastic Four. Like, who the hell are they? Yes, I've read the stories, but no. Uh, no. I'd have paid money to see backstory, and that's what I really thought I was going to. I don't want to say get from Doctor Strange, but when you hear that multiverse of madness, yes,
You
there
think you
was
about to
some
get a mad
madness.
multiverse?
Man, I was expecting to like see glimpses of like people and just shit like crumbling. At the end, I was literally thinking at the end, there was no resolution. I was thinking like the end was just going to end in madness, like, oh my God. The way Loki ended, like, oh shit, what's happening? I was expecting that tenfold in Multiverse of Madness. I was not expecting a resolution or hey, the good guys win. Hell no. Now you get the little post-credit scene with Sam with Benedict Cumberbatch, where he's walking outside. He thinks everything's cool, and the third eye shows up, and old girl, I can't think of her name. I think isn't she she's somebody's daughter. She's Dormammu's daughter. Is who she is. She shows up. She's like, yeah, you created a conversion. Oh shit, you know what I mean? Like, okay, cool, but I was literally expecting. I did not expect the Scarlet Witch to die. I expected some sort of just a wide open door at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
Like anything's possible. Like the way I felt at the end of Loki. To my point, here's why I think Scarlet Witch is still alive. That whole dream walking thing. I think the Scarlet Witch we saw was not Wanda Maximoff. I think she pulled in another Wanda Maximoff from another verse and convinced her she was a Scarlet Witch. And hey, you do this, you do this, you do this. I don't. That's my answer. Why she's still alive. I think she's back in Westview, chilling, reading Darkhold, and she just went and got another Wanda from another verse. Okay. You go ahead and get my kids.
But I thought the Wanda's, I thought Dreamwalking only let you jump into another. I didn't think it let you pull people into your main universe. I thought only.
Yeah, but okay. To your point, I agree with you, but we don't know how much of the Darkhold she studied.
Yeah.
So why can you not do more than one?
What? Like Dreamwalk?
Yeah. Why can you not do more than one?
No, I didn't think you can't do more than one Dreamwalk. I didn't think Dreamwalking let you pull people from different multiverses into your multiverse. I thought it just let you dreamwalk into
No. I'm thinking that. Remember when she showed up in the Illuminati? She was one WandaVision.
Yeah.
When they go to Cthulhu's little mountain, isn't that a different universe?
No, that's 616. That's where Wong took her.
Okay, maybe I read that wrong.
Yeah.
I thought that was like an off. I thought that was like somewhere else.
No, that was like Mount whatever. Wong took her, okay. and she complained that, but can't you teleport us higher up there? And he was like, nope, I can't tread on like on the holy ground. And then she flew him up there, and then yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that was. Yeah, I think that was still the main universe.
Okay, I could be wrong. I still saying we will see her again.
100%, I think so.
My favorite scene of the movie was, man, and I really thought we were going to get it, was the scene that was Professor X walking through her mind, and I was really hoping, because that shit felt like House of M.
I know.
I thought he was going to walk in there and just be like, Wanda, stop it.
And then he just got treated like an M-rated movie.
Yeah. You got your money, Patrick Stewart. It's time to go. and I'm not happy with that at all. I'm not, because I'm just like, hold on.
I mean,
wait. This is Professor X. He don't give up that easy. But anyway, different
Um,
universe, different power levels, and that's the thing. Like I'm just like the whole Black Bolt, cool. I'm not a fan of him. Reed Richards, I'm pretty sure he could have like figured out a way to like not get his ass
yeah, twist
annihilated.
later.
Yeah,
Got twist
I'm pretty
later.
sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he could have figured out a way not to get his ass annihilated. Like, and I'm just like, okay, all right. Well, this is, and then after that, I was like, okay, well, this is just showing off her powers. Cool, whatever. We're going to see these characters again, different powers,
poor,
whatever. And
poor
I
Black
really
Bolt,
think,
yo. I felt bad for him.
hey, man,
Everybody in the movie there was
I,
like, ooh, like,
I,
damn, Black
I
Bolt.
don't, I don't.
They're like, damn, Black Bolt. Ooh,
I
boy.
just, it was, I really think it was just like a poor attempt. People are like, hey guys, these characters now exist in the MCU. We're going to see them again, and it's just like,
And there they go.
okay,
And there they
and
go.
there they went. Okay, thanks, I guess. You know what I mean? You know, like, okay, and I guess like the movie itself, the whole multiverse of madness. To me, at the end of Spider-Man, right, when he's like trying to piece everything together, and he's like, "Yo, that was like madness," and all these characters coming in. I was hoping for something like that. I was really was, and it was just like, okay, so these cats win the day again, yay! Except for the fact of like, now you have to literally make a movie with Doctor Strange and old girl, um, Charisse Theron as their mama's daughter. Like, hey, you started a convergence, so now that's the only way to bring in my opinion, the actual madness.
Yeah.
And I don't think we saw that in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I think we just saw the sequel or the story progression, the progression of the story of the Scarlet Witch. That's how I felt about it. I would have loved to see like a version of Kang or a Mortis or somebody show up just like, wait. Like, you know what I mean? I would have loved something like that. Like, yeah, this ain't what you think it is. But now you're dealing with the convergence. So yes, you hear those sort of the new Avengers, Alan Hickman, New Avengers. Yes, you got Doctor Doom, you got Owen Reese Malcolm. Yeah, you have all these stories, but I'm just like, you're not really opening up the multiverse. Like, I need to see who the fuck else is out
Yeah.
there. I need to see who else is out there. I need to see. I mean, the fact that they put in there the Living Tribunal is just like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. So you're telling me this dude exists now? You're telling me this dude exists. So now when stuff really starts popping off, there's an answer for it.
There's also one
Because this,
decision where when one does, jump into multiple universes, that's not an influx of fuckery that the tribunal would step in and stop.
right, right. Like, hold on, dog.
Like
You over here dream walking and
taking
messing up
over
this
your
whole.
other, taking up your
Yeah,
other self in other universes to
yeah.
try to have kids that ain't yours. Like,
Yeah, I mean, just yeah. Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and put you back in your place. So I don't know, man. All in all, for me, I'm summing up. I know we're probably running on about an hour. Good movie. Really good movie. I probably need to see it again. There's probably some things I've missed. Um, I do feel at like first glance that I was really thinking with a title like The Multiverse of Madness, it was literally going to leave us at a standstill, unhinged, like, yo, what is happening with the MCU? We don't know. The same way we all felt about the end of Loki. Like, what just happened? When Sylvie killed He Who Remains and you saw the timeline split, I was hoping to get that kind of feeling with this movie. And I did. I didn't. There was a resolution. There was, hey, good prevails over evil, which sucks.
Mhm.
Um, and I really felt it was more of a sequel or continuation of WandaVision than I really thought it was of Doctor Strange. Um, that's how I felt about it. I felt, I mean, the little nuggets and Easter eggs, Cthulhu, Dormammu, um, whether or not that was some offshoot of Shumagorab, um, talking about the Illuminati, like all those things in the end, really, the only way they're going to amount to anything is with the idea and concept of the convergence. And now I think that's the only way we're going to get X-Men. We're going to get mutants. Is well, here's Professor X. He exists in this universe, so he exists in another universe. So this universe is going to bump into this universe. We're going to have secret wars. We're going to eliminate this universe. We're going to eliminate this universe. And hey, we're going to converge everything into one universe. Hey, here's your X-Men. I think that's cheesy as shit. I'm not a fan.
See, they're going to hit us. Well, actually, they're already in the 616. They've been there the whole time.
But again, you know my thoughts. You know my thoughts. I think they missed an opportunity to do that with Eternals.
Yep.
So I'm going to leave it there, man. We're probably about an hour. Go ahead and sum it up. What are your initial thoughts and conclusions, or whatever? How you feel about Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness? Good movie. I'm throwing shade because you know, uh, uh, um, again, a lot of these movies, the expectations are just through the roof, and I think it's really hard for Marvel, Disney to meet those expectations, whether it's based on source material, or whether it's based on just what we want to see. It's difficult. Good movie. Love Benedict Cumberbatch. Love Olsen chick. I
Elizabeth
thought they did a
Olsen.
great job. Elizabeth Olsen. Um, you know what I mean? Good movie, entertaining. Again, I just felt in the grand scheme of things, I was expecting more. I'll leave it at that. Go ahead. Take us home,
So,
Nick.
yep. Once again, yeah. I really enjoyed the movie. I think I can let y'all know at the beginning of that. I just want to see where things gonna go from here. With the whole more incursions. Let's see where more of these series come with. We got Nick Fury's Secret Wars and stuff coming up. So like, let's see what's happening. I'm excited. Like I do think it would be a little bit cheesy if they do just kind of enter the mutants as they've already been here the whole time. They just never, were interacting with people, staying hidden or blah blah blah, or if they just get combined from universes getting combined. I also think that would be kind of trash. I would love for them to, but at this point in time now, like I said, like Chris kind of said, I don't know how you kind of get them introduced either, other than saying, they already exist in the 616 universe because there's a kind of a counterpart to everybody in every universe. So if Professor X is in that universe, he's in that universe as well, so on and so forth. But overall, I still very much enjoyed the movie. I would recommend anybody to go watch it. I think it's a very entertaining watch. I think you'll definitely enjoy it. That's it, But once again, yeah, I know this is kind of rolling on to a really really long video, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. Once again, I want to thank everybody for watching the video with us. I know we're
Thank
an
you.
hour
Appreciate
in.
that.
We
Appreciate
always
that.
appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. We just need the help. Uh, Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.
And stay tuned. Stay tuned. We got more for you. Yes.
We do. We actually we got some plans
That means
we got some plans already.
that means all years. All years. We got more for you.
All right.
All right. See y'all later. Peace.